a deflection is not an answer, nor is it in any way a debunking of an argument or criticism levied at you.
It's really difficult to come up with something different to say when many people are saying the same thing about one topic. However, when you look into said topic and realize that those similar echoed phrases aren't said for no reason, then you should probably take heed. I may expand on this idea in another video, but I'll give a short and sweet version here. Commentary channels do make content on whatever they want to talk about. It's one of the most versatile categories of content you can get into. But if you're going to be a commentator on other creators, you should probably be well informed on either the person or the drama surrounding the person or people involved. People are biased, and I understand that, but don't let that bias cloud your judgment. Try your absolute hardest to keep a neutral stance, and if you really want to put out your personal opinion, please save it until the end. Now with Luke on trial, it seems as though his lackluster content and non-existent research have come back to get added to his bailout amount. Yes, there will be some jail puns in here. Don't like them? Outsmoke me, I dare you. First, let's start with the Peaches problem, as I feel as though I need to address something. Luke made 3 videos on Peaches, and well, they're questionable at best. Yes, he gave some decent evidence on Peaches and rightfully called her out on the mess she was leaving in her wake, but his approach and execution were quite ill-mannered, to put it nicely.
You decided to suicide bait your audience, going off the grid for hours to make your audience worry that you hurt or killed yourself. And guess what? 2 days later, you were back to making tweets again. And she's been doing this for a long time. It's very manipulative, and she's always using her mental health as a pity-me card. It's very scummy, and it says a lot about her as a person. I said she was sympathy baiting to her audience. Suicide bait your audience. Instead of being sorry for what she did, she turned really bitter about having to apologize and started lying about me.
One of his claims, the baiting one, kinda resonated with me, as I've dealt with someone like that in a previous toxic relationship. Unfortunately, I wasn't the only one who used that. I'm looking at you, Hotbox. Love you though. While in my reasoning and previous experience, I could be justified in taking that claim and running with it, looking back on it now, I feel a bit off with having that as one of my reasons. So Peaches, if you ever so happen to see this video, I'm really sorry, and I hope you're doing better after this shit show, even though it's still not over at the time of this video. It's something that doesn't represent either of us as people who deal with mental issues, and as someone who deals with depression, I shouldn't have used that. But since then, our little inmate has been causing a bit more trouble in regards to Just Stop, Lexit, and Harley. Oh, and I'll bring back that sexy critique sandwich for Luke, but we'll save that till the end. Starting from the top, Just Stop made a video pointing out a few flaws that Luke makes, bare bones, basic B videos, and being a commentary channel, he doesn't really make any new comments. But he'd also leave out a few important perspectives or leave out a bit of context to make a well-rounded argument. As a commentary channel, I feel like this is a cardinal rule that shouldn't be broken. Again, if you are going to cover a topic on people, cover all your bases, and if it's too hard to do the bare minimum, then you should probably do something else. While Luke had agreed that he should do his due diligence and at least do some sound research and, well, try, for some reason he still says that the constructive criticism Just Stop gave him was flawed. Bro, what?
The core of it is good. I should spend a little more time researching, or at the very least, make sure it's factual. I should be a little less definitive with my conclusions when there isn't enough to say anything conclusive.
A few moments later.
Most of your callouts are not only bad, they're very hypocritical.
Boy, if you don't
make it make sense, baby. Thanks. I'll go deeper into the criticism later, as I don't want to put the sandwich together already. I ain't even get the bread yet. Some time passed and Luke makes 3 videos and an artist named Lexit. Now, I would go into this, but 1, Just Stop and Harley went into good detail on this, and I don't want to repeat what they said verbatim, and 2, I won't do the situation any justice, as I don't know much about it and I am not interested in this story. So I'll link the videos in the description. I know I'm leaving a bit out here, but don't forget the sandwich. Now, the HarleyTBS situation is gross in my opinion. First things first, I don't know Harley at all. I've gotten all my information from his video response to Luke's first video on him, and frankly, in my opinion, I think he did a decent job refuting Luke and most of his baseless claims. I'll link his video below because me going into detail on everything would take too long, And I don't want to hurt my baby again because trying to edit and render a long ass video makes her start to slow down on me, and I don't like that. I will sum up this to a misunderstanding with a lot of mud flinging from one side in particular. Harley has admitted to some of his mistakes and says while progress won't be overnight, obviously, he'll take time to implement the constructive criticism and he'll be a better commentary channel. And also, you're arguing with a kid. I'm sensing a little bit of LDE here. Just saying. I think I should get into the sandwich now because going through all of this is getting me to the point where I'm ready to add a few more years to his sentencing. Would a sandwich do him justice? Probably not, but I really don't care. He'll eat it anyway since homeboy looks a bit hungry. Wouldn't you agree?
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Preparing the Krabby Patty!
Alright, so what kind of bread are we gonna use? Brioche? Nah, it's too good for him. Sesame? Nah, it's still too good. Ooh, I got one. Potato buns. Because they're just as basic as his content. Let's go, boy. Now, to refresh everyone's memory, a critique sandwich is where I will play nice and say what's good first, the top bun, say what needs to be improved, the meat, then finish it up with some compliments, although I think these buns will be mighty thin. Okay, something nice to say. You are a content creator and you have a big platform that could influence some critical thinking since you call yourself a commentary channel. And I'll take a bit of what Just Stop said. You have an interesting concept to expand on and really make your brand different than everyone else's. Now that that's out of the way, we can get down to business. The first thing I have to say for this section is that you have way too big a platform and way too big of influence to be throwing your weight around as if it doesn't cause massive collateral damage afterwards. Seriously, I shouldn't have to explain this considering you've done this quite a few times. Peaches, more specifically, since I fell for one of the most disgusting reasons you could even pull out of your ass. Just Stop with people harassing him on rightfully criticizing someone whose methods are questionable, and with Harley with a consistent video lacking proof of him lying or blatant misinformation. You cannot do this if you are going to be a commentary channel whose topics include talking about other creators. At the end of the day, behind that screen, those people you talk about are still people. No, you don't have to be buddy-buddy with them, but you can at least show some fucking respect because they're still people who deal with their own problems and emotional baggage. Don't add on to that just by spewing hate their way. It's gross. Second thing, how do you brand yourself as a commentary channel, but you don't even take critiques well? Like, if you can dish it out, but you can't take it, then child, you are in the wrong line of work and should look for an alternative. There's a difference between constructive criticism and then there's just bullying. And I feel like you don't know the difference for either coming or going. And that's an issue. You're talking about other people, Luke. One of these days, someone was going to talk about you sooner or later. And the fact that when the time came, you couldn't even let go of your pride for a second and learn. You must really love that cell, huh? Third, let me give you a definition real quick. For a clout chaser, I'll give you this one. A clout chaser, a person who tries to feed off of others' popularity. If you want to be that kind of guy, you could say that about literally every commentary or drama channel because we all talk about popular topics because why not? Don't pretend as if you don't do that because, well, I know you probably don't have any mirrors in prison, but I can smuggle one in for you so you can look in it. I think it's been too long since you did some self-reflection. Yeah, I said it. Fourth, I touched a bit on this throughout, but I want to fully define what a commentary channel is and its purpose. Commentary is an expression of opinions or offering explanations about an event or situation. A commentary channel is a YouTube channel plus commentary.
Boom.
There you go. Now, if you want to be a good commentary channel, you should take the liberty to be well informed in whatever or whoever you make your commentary on. You should at least be informative. That's like asking for the bare minimum, and it shouldn't be too hard to do. Again, if it is, change topics. Simple. Also, depending on the seriousness of your topics, you should take extra precautions so you don't end up giving out bad information and possibly ruining someone's image, if that's even possible in certain cases. Obviously, I know we all have biases, and again, depending on the topic, your bias can cloud your judgment. In that case, if you can't separate your bias from the story or the person, either try your absolute hardest to keep yourself neutral in reporting the story, then save your 2 cents until the end. Or you can talk to other people and see what can be looked at differently. Besides, you're making a video. It's not like you have a deadline to maintain. And make sure you haven't missed anything or interpreted something wrong, because that can happen, Luke. Now, I get it. We're all human, so we're bound to make mistakes. But if you refuse to acknowledge and own up to those mistakes and do better, a little emphasis on that, you look just as slimy as those you end up making multiple videos on. Now, this will be my last point, as it has come to my attention that certain people take it upon themselves to be judge, jury, and executioner. That is not your job, and it will never be your job. Don't overstep boundaries to try to get your senpai to notice you. He barely respects anyone else. How do you think he'll treat you? To end this off, more bread. Luke, just like everyone else here, you have potential, but please don't waste it trying to act like you can do no wrong and you have the biggest package out of everyone and no one can say otherwise. I'm pretty sure I went in that category, and don't come for me on that. I'm only spitting facts. I'm coming to you as a former fan who's been a bit thrown off by how childish you've been acting, and I want you to do better, just like anyone else here who has tried to come to you and talk things out. If I missed anything, please let me know. Respectfully. Anything else and I will roast you harder as if my name was Lucifer himself. I can be really sweet, but don't mess with a magical space cat. That's your only warning. Anyway, wait, what the fuck is this?
If you're such a great commentary channel, why don't you accept criticism?
What did you say, nigga?
Luke, you better eat this sandwich. You're not you when you're hungry. Oh, and your sentence? Solitary confinement for at least a month. Now let me get out of here before something pops off. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And I will catch y'all later. Bye!